Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. Smash the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't and tickle the notification bell. What a lovely day as opposed to yesterday. And today I want to talk about Thomas Frank and the fact that he will take Spurs forward. Now, what I have seen, especially over this last 3-4 months since the season started, is a lack of awareness, I think, in general, from a lot of football fans. A lack of awareness, a lack of patience, a lack of context as to where a club is versus where we want to be, what players we've got versus what we want to see from them. And this is where I think that Spurs now is becoming a little bit of a soap opera. And maybe this is the online fan base. I don't know. But I feel like we're becoming a little bit of a soap opera. And the way I see it is this. If you actually break it down, nothing bad has actually happened at Tottenham this season. Nothing bad has happened. Now, people may not have seen the brand of football they want to see. So maybe it's not aesthetically pleasing for some. Some people are annoyed about the formation. Other people want this player to play or that player to play. Can't believe we got knocked out to Newcastle. Oh my God, we didn't beat Bodo Glimt. But realistically, in the bigger picture, and I know football fans, we don't do this a lot, do we? The bigger picture, there isn't really an issue at Tottenham, is there? If we really break it down, we are right at the beginning of a new manager's tenure. We are right at the beginning of, I would say new owners, but you know what I mean? Like the Lewis kids taking over, Charrington now, Vinay, new medical stuff. We're right at the beginning of everything, if you will. And I get it, right? We don't have patience because we've been hurt so much. Now, not compared to, let's be fair, I'm sure there'll be fans of clubs in the lower leagues going, what are these Tottenham fans on about? Hurt? We've been relegated 8 times and we've had to go down to the conference and back to the Football League. I get it. But again, within context, as a fan base, we haven't had too much to cheer about for a long time. And for me, this all comes down to a lack of consistency, a lack of planning, and just a bit of calm. And I know that people don't want calm because calm doesn't help YouTubers with their silly clickbait titles. Spurs in crisis. I mean, Spurs aren't in a crisis, right? Spurs must change formation. Well, why must they change formation? You know, it's a bit much. So asking for calm, asking for people to just take a little step back and say, is there actually anything bad happening at Spurs? People don't want it. I get it. There's no drama in it, is there? There's no drama. And if you try and stay calm, you can't be reactive. Do you know what I mean? Now, what I think, forget Frank for the minute, forget Ange, forget Conte and Jose and Nuno and yada, yada, yada. Whatever way we look at it, this club has been like this for years, hasn't it? Up and down and up and down and this style and that style and this manager and that manager. This scouting, data-driven, not data-driven, young players, not young players. We have been the complete opposite to tranquil. I mean, we have been chaotic as a football club for many, many years. Now, that is why I think this summer was a perfect chance to reset. And they did. They did reset. Now, whether or not that's happening quick enough for people's liking, I think we have to take a little look, you're going to hate me, at them lot down the road. Them lot down the road, and we can have this grown-up conversation. People get very annoyed. They are a very good football team now with a very good squad, know how their manager wants them to play, really hard to beat, score goals. They've got options all over the park, haven't they? They've got like 2 back fours, 2 midfield, strike forces, yada, yada, yada. But that didn't happen overnight, did it? Arsenal didn't go, right, Mikel Arteta, he goes in, da-da. Arsenal were actually a bit of a mess for a couple of years, weren't they? And slowly but surely, they were allowed to get rid of some of the deadwood, so to speak, if that's the word you want to use. Slowly but surely, they were allowed to get rid of the players that Arteta didn't want and actually start building a squad that he did want. A squad, not for a squad. Got in the Declan Rices, Saliba, Gabriel, David Raya, the Trossards, right? This year, the Ezes, the Gyökeres, the Timbers, the Calafiori, the Ben Whites, the yada, yada, yada. But that didn't happen overnight. And when you look back, and I don't just want to use Arsenal as an example. There are many clubs like this at different levels. For example, a very different level to what we're trying to do at the moment. But even when Man City took Pep Guardiola, the first year, do you remember the rumblings? Oh, this style of football won't work. What's he doing? We look terrible. We can't defend. What's going on? We've not won anything. Why aren't we challenging? So it goes to show that even the best, and I think we can put Pep Guardiola in that category of the best managers that have lived. Don't want that debate, but he's up there. Even with a Pep Guardiola, he's gone there and it takes a bit of time. Now, I'm not liking, I know what will happen. I've been doing YouTube so long that people will go, oh, you're liking Frank to Pep Guardiola. I'm not at all. My point is there are managers that need time. There are most managers, nearly all managers need time. Iriola, yes, he's the flavour of the month. Yes, he's a top coach. Iriola didn't go into Bournemouth, and in the first 3 to 6 months, everyone went, oh my God, they're amazing. There were rumblings again. The Bournemouth fans, I remember, what is this? This guy can't win a game. Get him out. This is failed. This is a failed project. Glasner didn't go into Palace, and immediately everyone went, oh, look at Palace. They're so hard to beat. It took time. And these managers, Glasner and Iriola, they were doing it without playing European football every 3 days as well. So these factors, when you look at the bigger picture, have to be taken into account. And I think there's this notion, and look, I love Iriola and Glasner. I think they're great managers. I think they're top football managers. But there's this notion that if you didn't want Frank and you wanted Glasner or Iriola, by the way, I would have taken either of them, that everything would be different. And suddenly Spurs would be playing this great football and it's great and all the players suit the system. I look at the way Bournemouth play, right, for example. And yes, it took Iriola time. The players we've got don't play the same system. They don't play. They don't have that capability that Bournemouth do to play the way Bournemouth play. That happens over time. That happens over transfer windows. That happens over time on the training ground, coaching, adding new players to the team, drilling it into the players. Hey, this is what I want. And that is why I think as a fan base, we're very split. We've always been very split. But there are so many people that are harsh on Frank. So many videos about he sets up not to lose. I've got no problem with that at the moment. I've got no problem. I don't believe that myself. But I want to be difficult to beat. I don't ever want to see a season like last year where we lost 22 league games. As a football fan, that's not fun. Could he be more risk-free? Could he have more appetite for risk? Sure. First and foremost, can we let him build? Everyone going, he's got to play this formation, that formation, this formation. We've got people constantly going back three, when he hasn't got many fit centre-halves. Sometimes just a bit of a bigger picture and having a look and thinking, maybe he hasn't done that for that reason. For example, maybe a Dogie that everyone wants to see every week, maybe he doesn't start every 3 or 4 days because of the injury problems that he's had. Now, I would want to see Destiny Udogie start at left back every game, if fit. Sure. But there has to be a point where we trust the manager to say, why aren't you doing that? Yeah. Management, player management, managing these players, especially a player like Destiny Udogie, who has had so many injuries since he's been at Tottenham Hotspur. It's been a very stop-start 2.5 years for him. But anything Thomas Frank does at the moment is being critiqued. And critiquing is fine, But I feel like we're over critiquing. There's fans now who first, no one cared about the style of play. That's not important. Now they've changed their mind to, we need to be aggressive with the ball. I like that style of football as well, by the way. I like the nice pressing, dynamic football where everyone floods forward. But I also appreciate that you do need a certain caliber of footballer to play that. And I won't bore you to tears with it, but as I said before, you look around at our midfielders. I don't think we've got the midfielders to play it. I don't think we've got the strikers to play it. I don't think we've got anyone on the left wing that can play that way. Xavi Simons needs time to get up to speed. And I think we are starting to see green shoots from Xavi Simons. The more he plays, you can see the more belief in him, confidence. He's showing for the ball more, getting on the ball, driving forward. And hopefully the output starts to come off the back of that. But again, it's lessons in patience. And we're not patient at all with any of this. I don't mean everyone. You know what I mean? There's too much noise. I'm seeing, like, I think first of all, I think anyone saying Frank out, I think it's truly silly. And I think you realize they're trolls, right? They're trolls, or it's just pure attention. Look, I think when people take a little step back, you can see that Thomas Frank first of all, he needs three things for me. He needs time, as does any manager. He needs transfer windows, as does any manager. And he needs backing, as does any manager. If you get those three things right, if we're patient with him, if we give him good transfer windows and we back him, this is a man that has shown over the years he will build a very good team. He will drill into the team how he wants that team to play. He will be tactically flexible. But what we've got at the moment is people think that being tactically flexible means changing the formation every 90 minutes. That's not what it is. So I think this is a guy that he's very professional. He speaks well. He's trying things out. And again, that's another point we should talk about. He tries things out and people don't like it. How's he going to ever find out if we don't try things out? So, for example, all I've heard for a month now, and I think this is absurd, and I think this shows people who understand football and people who don't. Sorry, I'll say it. Oh, Bentancur and Paulinho, when they play together, you need someone more progressive alongside Paulinho. Well, one, who is more progressive? Because none of our players are progressive midfielders. Some of them run forward, but that doesn't make them progressive with the ball. And two, when he has done that in the last 3 or 4 weeks, Bergval's had a go in there. Sar's had a go in there. We always look worse in midfield when Bentancur and Paulinho don't play together. So everyone screams and shouts, we want to see this. Then when Frank does it, oh, he got it wrong. Well, hang on, but you asked for it, right? Oh, we want to see Simons only in the 10. Simons plays in the 10. People go, oh, I think he should be shoved out on the left. Right. Brennan Johnson's another one, right? Brennan Johnson's got to play. Brennan Johnson has to play. He scores goals. Brennan Johnson starts games. Can't believe Frank still starts Brennan Johnson. So we're at the stage where fans are asking for things. When they get things and when the manager tries things out, everyone loses their mind. Oh, that's not the right 11. Well, what is the right 11? What is the right 11? Whatever he does, people are going to moan. We're at the stage where we've gone from a manager that never tried anything and picked the same 11 wherever possible to a manager that tries things and is berated. He is absolutely berated, whatever he does. There are people, I can see there are people, YouTubers especially, that thrive on it when we don't win a game. They thrive off it. Thrive off it. This manager needs to be the manager that settles this club down. Now, maybe in the past I've been a bit about Spurs and change this and do this. But aren't we all at a stage where we want some stability? Aren't we all at the stage where we want a bit of calm, a bit of stability, and a manager that is allowed to actually go about his daily business and after every game isn't critiqued to the nth degree? Like, it's crazy what I'm seeing at the moment. Crazy. You got people going, oh, I want to see us play better brand of football. Cool. With who? Oh, I don't know, but just play a better brand of football. Brilliant. Brilliant, right? I want to see us hold the ball up. Cool. With what forward? Which forward at the football club have we got that's imposing, that holds the ball up? Which midfielders have we got that put their foot on the ball and control the game? All of these different factors, people just say things without actually looking at the factors. Take a step out, remove your emotion, actually look and go, what are we capable of doing? Now, I want this. Listen, this manager might work and he might not. Same as any manager. That isn't Thomas Frank. That's any football manager, right? Any football manager. But I see lots of things like, is Frank the guy to lead us to glory? Is Frank the right man? What can Frank achieve? Now, you have to ask yourself this question. That all depends on what you as the individual expect and what the club allow. So right now, I look at this Spurs squad and I think it's an okay squad. It's got there's 4 or 5 very good footballers. 4 or 5 very good footballers. Van de Ven, Romero, Paulinho, Xavi Simons when he gets moving, Kudus. Right? Now, then I think we've got a layer of good footballers, some good footballers around that. Porro, Adogi, Bentancur's a good footballer. No, I'm not going overboard. Mwani's a good footballer. Kulu. Madison's out for the year. We know that. And then I look around and go, and then we've got a lot of average to young players. So I look at this squad and how it's been put together and go, what should it be doing? What brand of football should we be seeing? Where should we be in the league? What should we be challenging for? And for me, I look at it and go, not a lot. We're not in the Europa League this year. If this squad was in the Europa League, yeah, you're sitting there and saying, go on, win the Europa League. But we're not. We're in the Champions League and we're not going to win that. I mean, with all the best will in the world, we're not going to win the Champions League or the league. So I think it's all about sometimes taking a little step back and going, what are your expectations as a fan and are they real? Are they realistic? Because I could sit here right now as a football fan and say, my expectations are to win the league. But then if I take a step back, I'd have to look at myself and go, well, you're an idiot, aren't you? Because you know, Savva, that the squad isn't good enough. Now, I think this squad is okay. I think this squad needs a lot of surgery. Not over one window, not over 2, not over 3. I think this is going to be a constantly evolving, I don't like the word project, but process, project, phase, whatever. I don't care, whatever word you want to chuck in. But we seem to be in this era of, right, the manager's had a few players in a transfer window. Go, go, go. And it's just a bit too much. Every single time we don't win a game, the meltdown is crazy. Now, yes, yesterday was a gut punch, wasn't it? Yesterday was a gut punch. But what we've now got is people are starting to rewrite history of the game as well. Oh, we didn't dominate. Well, we did. We dominated possession. We dominated shots. We dominated shots on target. We outpassed them. We did. Doesn't mean we were amazing, but we did. And people going, oh, no, only because they let us have the ball. So he can't win. Spurs have the ball. We blame the other team. Spurs don't have the ball. We blame Thomas Frank. I think we need time. We've got tough games coming up, and we've got PSG and Arsenal coming up. This is tough. Away at the Emirates. Realistically, who is expecting to go to the Emirates and win? Realistically. Now, I'd love to. Sure, it's not impossible, but realistically, that's not a game that is going to define for me what Tottenham are. Yes, we've got to change things at this club. Yes, Thomas Frank has accountability. Yes, Thomas Frank needs to sort out the home form. Yes, we need to sort out getting shots on goal. there are positives that no one seems to want to talk about. When you look at this, and I think the table normally sorts itself out after about 18, 19, 20 games, right? So it's all bunched up, and 3 points takes you from 10th to 3rd and blah, blah, blah. But right now, I look at Spurs' form and I think, this is what I expect from the squad I just said. Drawn 2, lost 2, won 2 of the last 6. I think this is what we are as a team. And the reason why I think we are that as a team is I don't think we've got the caliber of players in volume to be consistent. To say you're just going to win. To say you're going to get 4 wins and 2 draws from 6 games. I don't think we've got that caliber of player to do that. And caliber of player is everything. I said this on the show last night. Average players are capable of raising their game every now and then. We see it in cup shocks, right? Average players, we see it when we play Man City, we raise our game, but average players aren't capable of doing it consistently. That's why they're average players. The top players, if you look at the Man Cities and the Liverpools and Madrid, the top players perform at that level every week, don't they? That's why they win the thing. That's why they win the big pots. That's why they're consistent. That's why they're always challenging for titles. Because the big players, the top players, are consistently at that level. We're there. I think we need to add 3, 4, 5 more very good Paulinho, Kudus level footballers, Van der Ven levels, before we can start thinking about, well, we've played 6, drawn 2 and won 4 in the last 6 games. I don't think we're there yet. Now, there's nothing wrong with me saying that, by the way. I know people think that's negative. I don't think it is. I think that's what we've got to build towards. That doesn't happen overnight. And our fans seem to think it will. Style of football doesn't happen overnight. But online football fans, we've made our mind up after 11 league games that this is how we're going to play forever. I'd love a lot of these people go and watch some coaching seminars, go and listen to managers talk, and they talk about the importance of evolving over time. How you start isn't how you finish, and that journey in between there. So all these people going, oh, our style, he's set up not to lose. Well, hang on. We're going to evolve. As the longer he's at the club, players coming back from injury, signings from the transfer windows, Spurs will evolve. We will evolve. But nobody seems to want to have that patience to let that play out in front of our eyes. There are some very sensible fans. I see so many sensible fans. The majority actually are sensible. And they say, look, we're like there's nothing wrong. And as again, when I show you that, of course, there's going to be a few teams that possibly overtake us today with Premier League games going on. But there's nothing wrong with where we are. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing. We're not conceding loads and loads of goals. We what's that? 0.9 goals conceded a game, maybe. I might have made that up, but 10 goals conceded in 11 games, something maybe 0.9. I don't know. 19 goals. I mean, I think he's worked an absolute miracle, guys and girls. I think he's worked a miracle with his squad to get 19 goals from 11 games. With the forwards and the wingers he's got, I think he's worked miracles. So I will say this. Is he perfect? No. Is any manager perfect? No. Was he everyone's favourite to take the job? No. But does he deserve some time and some respect? Does he deserve, from our fan base, for them to turn around and go, yeah, to be fair, you picked up a bit of a shit show, mate. You picked up a rudderless football club that had no direction. Yes, that is fair to say that. So all I'm asking for is a little bit of calm and for people to just let the season play out. Every time we don't win a game, it doesn't need to be, oh my God, but the substitutions were horrific. All game yesterday. Loads of us said it. I said it and I was wrong. Oh, what are those subs? Then the subs change the game. And you think, well, maybe he knows what he's doing. Everyone at half time, I can't believe he took Mawani off. Oh, this Frank, he doesn't know what he's doing. Then we find out he's got a broken jaw. And you're thinking, But immediately everyone jumped on the manager immediately without even thinking. No one stops to think, well, maybe Udogie can't play every 3 days after just coming back from injury. Do you know what I mean? All of these different things, but everyone just wants to see the same 11 that they think in their head every week. I see it with, I won't name names, but certain people in my chat section. When we win, it's, oh, brilliant. And then when we draw or lose, it's Frank out, didn't like him anyway. When did this happen? When did we become every game you don't win is out, out, out? I get it. Lose 10 in a row. Get him out. But we're not doing that. We've lost 3 of 11 league games. We're Tottenham. We're not Arsenal. Sorry. We're not. You look. We've lost less league games than Liverpool. We've lost the same amount of league games as Chelsea and City. Let's just relax. I think everyone, let's take a chill pill. Let's let the season unfold. Let's see what we do in January and the summer. Let's see which players Thomas Frank says, yeah, they can go. Yeah, let's bring that player in. And if we're playing like this, if the football isn't better in a year's time when he's been here at the start of next season, sure, we can all go, well, hang on now. He's had 3 transfer windows. He's been here a year. What's going on? I get it. But right now, he's been here 3 or 4 months, playing every 3 or 4 days, limited time on the training field, loads of players injured. There's no real drama. We're doing okay in the league. We're doing well in the Champions League. I think everyone just needs to take a little bit of a chill pill. I get that the drama sells. I get it. I get that the clickbait titles sell, the fake outrage. There isn't really anything to be outraged about. Just so you know, this time last season, the 11th game of last season, Spurs were busy losing at home to Ipswich with a full-strength team, having just rested 7 or 8 players for Galatasaray midweek. Fast forward a year, we're sitting in the top 5 of the Premier League. We don't lose many games. We've come back a few times as well to show our resilience. Can we just give the manager some time? So I'm going to leave it there. Let's just a bit of time, please, just for somebody. Otherwise, we're going to be in this cycle forever. Guys, girls, much love. Take care. There'll be no Spurs review tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow. And as always, come on, you Spurs.